Before we get started, I wanted to say a special thank you to today's sponsor, Sam Ash Music. If you play music in Las Vegas, you know Sam Ash. You can pick up microphones, percussion, guitars, pianos, all sorts of musical instruments. They also have lessons and special performances on their stage. It's overall a great place to go. You should definitely check them out. And tell them Josh sent you from Room 6. More importantly, click the link down in the description. It'll take you to their online website. It will help the channel out. I appreciate it. I know you'll appreciate it. Thank you, Sam Ash, for sponsoring today's video. And thank you for watching. So let's go.
So he sends me the video,
Sight.
and I'm picking out the tune, and he gave me 3 tunes, but the one was the video. And I'm like, where did he find 5 guys with dreads? I had to watch it 6 times before I realized, oh, that's all him.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was like different people.
And a quick side
You better not want me to get
Yeah,
dreads.
because
I
like
get no dreads.
on drums, he's got like a full, like, you got
beard,
yeah, you got.
On a side note, one of the reviews somebody did of that video was like, they were like this band of brothers. So I think they thought there was.
If you're enjoying the content Room 6 is putting up, please make sure you subscribe down there and hit the bell so you don't miss an episode. While you're at it, feel free to like and share. And yeah, let's go. Welcome to Room 6, the channel dedicated to the local Las Vegas music scene and the people that make it, including me. I'm Josh, and today I'm very happy to welcome a band that is making some waves in town and makes some awesome music. Please welcome Second Echo. Say hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
cheers.
Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell them what you do.
My name's Casey. I'm the lead singer and guitarist.
Mackenzie, attentively.
Rick, bass player,
Nate, drummer.
rhythm section.
Rhythm section.
Oh, unconsciously, I did that, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, guys.
I'm really in charge. Everyone follows me.
Right, that's right.
Welcome to my home. Toast it up. You have booze right there, man.
He's like, yeah, but he's on TV, so he can't read.
That's for later.
Right. Okay. Anyway,
He
sorry.
doesn't want to ruin his lemon sucker. That's fine.
Welcome. Let's do this properly. Clink, clink.
His lemon
Clink.
sucker.
Clink. Thank you. Drink.
Clink and drink. Is that a thing? Clink and drink.
Find this guy.
The internet.
Yeah.
Backpage.com.
I thought you were going to say some other website.
YouPorn.
No, it's Pornhub. Okay.
YouPorn.
Gosh.
He films
AKA
himself.
Red.
No,
You
it's all
gotta get some kickback from Pornhub.
it's all about you for it. I'm telling you.
YouPorn.
Anyway,
You know those POVs? Yeah. All right.
interview's going great. So let's get it going. Here we go. First of all, we met at benefit, basically.
Yeah.
For puppies. What was the name of that thing?
It was,
Vegas has a heart.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Something,
you go.
something angels, right?
At the Hideaway.
at the Hideaway. Yeah.
Actually, I think there's like 20 names.
Yeah, there was like yes.
Yeah.
That was actually really cool, and I got to see my boys Dirt Halo and interview here. Ding. Shameless. And but also I got to run into people who I'd only known online, which was really cool. And then of course I got to see you guys play, and I said I got to have them on the show. So there you go.
Yeah.
Quick question: how long have you all lived in Nevada?
Oh gosh, I'm probably, I don't know, you and I are probably the newbies. I've been here for about 2.5 years, and you've been maybe a year and a half?
8 months.
Oh, 8 months, okay, yeah.
You are newbies.
Yeah.
How about you?
About 9 years I've been here.
You're almost there. When you hit 10 years, you're a native.
Oh, okay.
Almost there.
4 years, 5 years vacationing twice a year.
Doesn't count.
I did.
Did it?
And I've been here 6.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're on your way. You're almost there. I'm at like 17 years. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, pretty soon the mayor's gonna start sending me a mail like, hey, you want to be on the council, whatever.
You lived here more than anyone else.
Yes. Vegas is a bit of a transient town.
Very much so.
How long have you been doing music? individually.
Start with the youngest one.
Okay, yeah.
The wee babe.
Since I was 7.
What did you start with guitar?
Snare drum. I was in a marching band.
Right on. A lot of great musicians and guitarists come from marching bands. Something about the regimen they put you through or something.
Yeah.
My first ever band, the entire band except for me came from their high school's marching band, and they all were playing a different instrument than what they did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really amazing. I think the lead guitarist played trumpet, and it was really one of those weird things. And they were all so good.
Yeah, my dad had a trumpet.
Why did they break up? Anyway, right now, my dad actually had a trumpet. He traded in so I could have an electric guitar.
Oh,
And it had an amp built into the case. It was one of those.
Is this Silvertone? Is that what it was?
I don't remember, dude.
I have one of those.
I was barely double digits.
Yeah.
That eventually went away. But next, anybody?
Pardon me?
I was 8.
Did you start on the drums?
I started on the piano.
Piano.
I started drums at 8.
Right
Probably
on.
started piano probably maybe 4 or 5.
Got to beat. I was piano at 7. And I wish I'd stuck with it. I wish I had.
I still play piano.
Yeah.
So.
Anytime I sit down and I'm like, I only know 2 songs now. Like
What, Mary Had a Little Lamb? And
No.
Cross buns.
the Peter Piper thing?
Actually, Greensleeves.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was actually, if I remember right, it was a hybrid. It started with Greensleeves and went into something else. But and then the other one was Mother's Pride by George Michael. Hey, it got
Of all the things,
it won my.
if you're ever at a party, I guess.
It's such a left turn. It's like we're talking about.
It's such a party
hot cross
piece.
buns
Let me tell
and
you.
like-
No, I played that for my mother-in-law the day I met her, and that was she was like, oh. Anyway,
Green Sleeves and George Michael. All right, I like it.
That's the name of our next album.
Greensleeves and George Michael, 2 things that are both dead. Oh,
Oh!
Too soon? Too soon?
I missed you, George. Anyway, next.
I'll go next because mine is really similar to Nate. I started on piano when I was probably 8 or 9, then guitar at 13, and then picked up drums at 18. And just like to. I was really like unsettled. I couldn't just stick with one.
He's a Renaissance man.
I guess, yeah. Or I also like think sometimes it's like, I'm kind of good at all of these things instead of being really good at one thing. So it's
Right.
I don't know which is better, but yeah.
Yeah. That actually. How old were you when you started learning your latest instrument?
My latest instrument, probably late teens, early 20s.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say like 30s, 40s.
Oh, no.
Because I don't know how old you are, but
Not in the 40s.
I'm 47. Yeah. But I was probably right around 40, early 40s when I started actually learning. I just had a drum lesson before this actually.
Yeah.
With my drummer, Sean Flam. There's a link right there. If you're local and you want lessons of music, drums, piano, whatever, he's got you covered. He's really good and he's very patient. All right, Mr. Too Cool for the Room.
I'm just the old one. I went by age.
With your
I even
Super
beat-
Trooper
I
glasses.
even beat you.
You're older than me?
I was actually, yeah.
You're looking better than me, that's for sure.
Thank you. I actually started in chorus singing,
Right on.
and then it was time to change.
Things dropped.
That's an old reference.
See, I'm dating myself.
I was gonna say that
That's a Brady Bunch so.
made you older than your looks right there. Just by
Yeah, you were doing so well.
I got all.
He explained his age, and then you're like, "Oh, I look better than this guy."
Here's
now you're like,
here's the
"Oh, I'm
beating
this
the
old."
whippersnappers.
I can make Happy Days jokes from the stage all day.
Happy days.
Can it, Pops?
Chips, 6 million Army. But see, this is the funny part.
Mhm.
He's younger than my kid,
Wow.
and he gets all this stuff.
He gets the stuff that his
The
kid
music,
doesn't
the
get.
reference.
There's gonna be a time when I have people on this show, and my kid will be older than they were. Right? She's 12 now, so I'm good for that.
So these two are like more 90s, 2000s guys, and it's different now. And he's like, "Oh yeah, this."
Yeah, he honestly-
Van Halen.
Like he knows stuff that even I when you say stuff, I'm like, what is that? And he knows it.
So I know his dad's my age. That's-
Yeah.
Try this. My 12-year-old daughter surprised me the other day where we were listening to Ariana Grande or whatever, and of course she knows that. But then for whatever reason, "Bad Medicine" by Bon Jovi came on, and she started totally nailing all the lyrics.
Oh, wow.
Where? When? How? She's got a really cool teacher apparently who plays that class, and I was just like, all right, we're common ground. Yes.
So around the change, I
Around the change?
Yeah.
I need a manager.
Yeah. I picked up the acoustic.
There you
The
go.
odd part is I became a theory head first. And because I wanted to be a drummer then,
Okay.
but we were poor and lived in a half a double that was rented. And Dan said, that's out of the question because you'll get it tossed out of the house.
Drums, yeah.
So I'm looking around and I'm going, well, guitar players are a dime a dozen, drummers are a dime. I'll try that.
They didn't have drum pads back then? Like the practice pad?
No.
You wanted the clang. You wanted the big noise, yeah.
So
They didn't have electric drum sets back then.
no. And even then, like, the house was return of the century.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, walking disturbed a neighbor in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right on. How long have you been at Second Echo?
So we have been this group of guys has been together. What did we say, about 6 months?
Yeah.
But
When
So-
did he come? Like November?
yeah,
Is that what November about?
like fall. This last fall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think I contacted you in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before like November.
Yeah. So what happened? Like, just a little brief history. Like, so
So what happened was,
the album that we have out right now, like, I actually recorded everything on that album. Moved from the Midwest out here to Vegas, and then immediately was like looking for band members to do the live band.
okay.
And so it took me a couple of years to do it, but then once I got the band, now we've been, playing this stuff. And then the best part about it is then taking and working on new material with the band, because everything on the album is kind of just pure me. But what's really cool is because I play everything, as I mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
I'm like kind of good at all these things. And what I've always like had this desire to have this group of guys who are like, I don't want to be able to do your job better than you can. You know what I'm saying? And so for the first time in my life, that's the case. Like, everybody like is phenomenal at their instrument. So then now writing and arranging has been like, I'm just like, it's
Yeah.
made. I
Here's
love
what
it,
I'm doing. You figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I actually put myself in the same exact position.
Yeah.
Sting had a great quote. He said, "I've made a career out of surrounding myself with better musicians than me."
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Yep.
it's true. I mean, he's got some amazing people that play with him, but he's no slouch. So,
there's a funny story there. We were the first two to meet here,
Yeah.
okay.
and he sends me the stuff, and it was a little bit after familiar with band mix. So it came across my band mix. I got a band mix, and I think it was Craigslist. Anyway, we get to talking, and I'd been in town a little longer and working with some known people.
Known people, yeah.
And they were just flakes, and I couldn't deal with it. And
Musicians? Get out of here.
Vegas? Flakes?
no, I'm talking old LA. Right off the bat. I won't get into the whole story because
Okay.
I don't want to.
I thought you meant like showing up late for things.
Well, no, we'll name drop after the camera. Anywho, the first thing I said to him, he probably did. First thing I said to him is like, "Where are you from?" He says, "Ohio." I'm like, "Thank God, I'm tired of these West Coast flicks." So he sends me the video,
The site.
and I'm picking out the tune, and he gave me 3 tunes, but the one was a video. And I'm like, where did he find 5 guys with dreads? I had to watch it 6 times before I realized, oh, that's all him.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was like different people.
And a quick side
You better not want me to get
Yeah,
dreads,
because
because I
like
ain't getting no dreads.
on drums, he's got like a full, like, you got,
beard.
yeah, you got.
On a side note, one of the reviews somebody did of that video was like, they were like this band of brothers. So I think they thought there was like
That's funny.
this whole sibling like group of guys that were playing
That's
together.
great.
Yeah.
I'm Casey. I'm Stacy. and-
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Let's talk musical influences. Okay, we talked a little bit already about what you started on musically. What was the earliest musical influence that got you thinking, I want to do this? I really want to learn that song, or I want to play like so and so, or just I like this genre of music.
You be first. So it's funny. Like, I grew up in a kind of conservative, kind of religious household. So there
From the Midwest,
I know, right? That's so weird. But so there wasn't a lot of influence from the outside as far as like secular music and stuff like that. My first encounter with that, ironically, was The Weeknd, the Kurt Cobain.
Oh, I thought you meant the band, like the group The Weeknd.
Oh,
Like,
no,
really?
no.
That
No.
recent?
No.
Wait, you seen how our sound on the weekend?
I know.
So coincidental.
But no. So Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, The Weeknd, he died. They ran
You couldn't get
Nirvana
away from it,
videos
yeah.
all weekend on MTV, and I remember I was at my brother's apartment in Columbus. He was going to Ohio State at the time, and I remember like sitting there going, "What is this? Like it just was like mesmerizing to me. And then I got into Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, and just the whole Seattle scene it ruined me. And so like that, I was ruined from then on.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is my purpose in life, basically. You know?
Same kind of sort of story where, growing up, I heard a lot of country and Western. Like
Those kinds of music?
Kenny Rogers, Crystal Gale, Willie Nelson, but also whatever was kind of sort of popular at the time. So I remember got my license. I'm a senior in high school. I'm driving my mom's car, listening to New Jersey by Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
And that shaped a lot of me.
Yeah.
But and then I went to San Diego State for a while, and that just totally you get exposed to all sorts of things, and you're like, and then like you, suddenly it was like Pearl Jam and Nirvana and all this. And I remember videotaping. I had a VCR. I was like living large. I remember it's the ass machine. I remember videotaping.
Ass.
Yeah. Just don't let us scare you. But I remember videotaping them, and because I was like, I started to formulate. I want to be a songwriter. I want to sing. I want to write. And so I started watching over and over and over. And I remember I'd pay attention to like Eddie Vedder and James Hetfield.
Yeah.
Enunciation. Yes. And to this day, when I sing, especially acoustic, I make sure I'm enunciating.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than having your lyrics kind of fatal.
Yeah.
You know. What was he singing?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah.
And on a side note, I just to kind of springboard off of what you just said, when it came to Nirvana, like I think that's the thing that was so incredible to me was like Kurt Cobain was not the most incredible vocalist or guitarist, but his songwriting was what drew me to that, and so I think that's really what inspired me the most was the songwriting aspect of it. Yeah.
He did what Bob Dylan did, where he took what wouldn't have worked with a lot of music, and they made it fit.
Yeah,
like he made it fit, and like if can you imagine Kurt Cobain singing with Pearl Jam's music? No,
not at all.
Not But and for especially for you for like the first secular music, you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oddly enough, it's like it was built a lot on Beatles chords.
Yeah.
So
what isn't?
Because if you go back to the roots, there's like two schools of thought. You get the Beatles chords, you get the Stones thing, which was more riff rock.
Yeah.
More derivative of Elvis.
Right.
Sure.
And the blues thing.
Yeah.
But the Beatles were very chordy.
Yeah.
What? How about you? What early musical influences?
I raised Elvis. Mom and Dad were weird.
You don't say Sideburn Boy. What's that mutton chop?
The console stereo with the oddball records in it.
Nice.
The hee haw thing.
Hee haw.
Very young, of course. Donnie Marie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Conway Twitty.
Conway Twitty. Yeah. And I'm not.
One of my favorite parts of Family Guy ever.
I was just going to say that.
They brought Conway Twitty back.
In fact, right now in this video, you should cut to a Conway Twitty video.
I don't want to get sued or anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway.
Mr. Conway Twitty.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. P. No, I can't. No, I can't.
Mr. Bucko.
But the real deal was, I think on the school bus in like first grade, the kid drops "Kiss Alive" into the old
wow
the mono 8-track, like the Dynamite thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and then by the time I'm 10, I discovered Van Halen, and that's it.
Yeah,
it was game.
It's funny because getting back to what you said, I think I was maybe 7, 5, 6, 7. Kiss. My brother, who I have 4 older siblings, so I had 4 older siblings. My brother is the next oldest. He's 9 years older than me. So a lot of the cool stuff at the time, which was the 70s, I got exposed to because he was there and he was, jamming it out. And Kiss, I remember jumping around on a couch listening to Kiss. And I think it was
everybody, and most musicians my age, rock musicians, basically, whether they'll admit it or not.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes when they have the older siblings, it's Sabbath and Zeppelin because they were turned on to that earlier.
Oh, I'm sure that was there too.
I was the oldest, so.
But that's my earliest memory of music is Kiss.
Yeah.
And then getting older was riding around with my parents in the high desert in Hesperia and Victorville and Atlanta, listening to Kenny Rogers and Crystal Gale and all that, and just not, that's all I knew. So I didn't know what was out there. Who's next?
You. Me?
Remember, it goes talkative.
Reese
Oh, that's right. I forgot. We had a hierarchy of
That's right.
Well, to be fair,
diary of mouth. Probably initially as a drummer, I really liked Phil Collins. Just because he varied himself in a lot of things. Well, not really that.
No,
I know.
Genesis more than
When that part comes.
his solo stuff. But
Yeah, no, I agree with you because even Mike and the Mechanics too, it's kind of kept that same vein to me of a little bit drum forward.
yeah.
But what else?
And kind of starting with the classic rock thing kind of got me into the 90s thing because I grew up in the MTV era where the videos were starting to be on TV.
Yeah. That's the thing with music is there's nothing original. It's all just slightly different.
Right, but-
we talk about this, how you package it. Yeah.
Because my parents grew up in like late 70s, early 80s, like they had, what we consider classic rock now was, what they listened to. So when I got old enough to listen to the radio, I was like, listen to classic rock radio, and then but at that point, when I was like, 12, they're throwing Soundgarden and all that on their classic rock, so it's dropping the 90s, and then I was like, Creed came out, and I was like, oh, I like these guys, like they rock, and so I was like in that post-grunge, all that post-grunge stuff, alternative stuff for a long time, and that's kind of where I've really been
I felt
gravitated toward.
I felt old when Metallica was on classic rock. And I was like, I remember videotaping you, man.
Right.
That was like the newest thing. I don't know. Anything else, or are we going to?
It's really just now I'm in that post-grunge alternative rock kind of vein. Like, I think it's,
I don't know.
I don't really follow whatever's trendy mainstream. It's like, I like the melodic driven rock. That's kind of attracted me to him. He was like, oh, I like this music. Like, this is like different, and it's not what's either death metal covers or like pop, and it's like what everyone on the internet is looking to do. And so these guys, he stands out. He's unique.
It's really cool the way we're blending, and that's what I was looking for a long time. Guys that can write. We're all home studio set up, so a lot of the time wasting thing don't happen. But we're a real hodgepodge. Like you're throwing all this different stuff into a thing. And,
You've seen my setup here.
Yeah.
well, he's schooled, and I was in jazz bands. So we've done that kind of thing. So we clicked on that level. And
if your rhythm section knows theory or some jazz, you're ahead of the game.
I would say we're hodgepodge, but there's a lot of similarities in our tastes.
Yeah,
like we could probably put on like Soundgarden or anyone in the car and we'd all like, oh, this is agreeable.
Oh yeah.
We wouldn't be like fighting over what we're gonna listen to. I don't know. I'm gonna listen to that.
Here's a debate moment. Which would you rather, Soundgarden or Chris Cornell? Music. I really like Chris Cornell's solo stuff.
But
that's because
I can't.
Well,
choose
as a
that.
singer and as a singer-songwriter, I really like Chris Cornell's stuff by himself.
Yeah.
But then again, as someone who enjoys the rock, Soundgarden.
Yeah.
I mean, I can really appreciate either or. Like you said, it's sort of his choice.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I'd go Chris Cornell, I think.
See, I like it all,
purity.
but I prefer Audio Slave because of the backing.
Right.
Oh,
there you go.
I can see that. Yeah.
I forgot about Audio Slave.
Yeah.
I would argue the Audio Slave is they're a little more rage than they are.
You know what?
Good for, yes, but
Temple of the Dog. I'll take that.
I think that's a happy medium. Yeah.
As much as I like Soundgarden's rhythm section, the whole coming from him, I mean, he might agree with me just because of that thing. Is the guitar players are awful
For which one?
Soundgarden.
They weren't.
most of that genre.
They weren't the worst. They were just worse than most.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Send all your hate mail to room6lb@gmail.com.
Care of.
Yes. Hit me up in the comments if you hate what I'm saying. All right.
But
Speaking of bad, Lars Ulrich.
can you say douche?
Oh, jeez.
Ironically enough, streaming platforms paying musicians. Guess what pays the highest to musicians?
Napster.
Napster.com. It's still a thing. I'm on it.
See, that's news to me. I didn't even know it was still a
It's
thing.
ridiculously more than like Spotify or any of that. And
That's fun.
good on you, Napster. We believe.
Okay.
Last one, Taciturn Man.
I'm gonna love this.
Well, like I said, I started in the marching band.
Mhm.
So all of my immediate family members, excluding my mom and my grandma, were in a marching band, the Zoom Pueblo marching band. And so they were they made up the brass section towards the entire brass section.
You had no choice but to go into band.
Well,
Gee, why don't you listen to it at home?
I mean, I wanted to, for me, it was cool because they would march in all these parades, do all these performances, and people would cheer at them.
Well, marching band is awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I would have been in it, but my school didn't have one.
Yeah. So I listened to a lot of military marching band music, like what's his name? John Philip Sousa. Yeah.
Well, of course
like
you got to. Yeah.
And then I got into movie soundtracks, stuff like that, classical music. And then after that, I think I was around 4 years old. My dad decided to put in, or one of my parents decided to put in Rocky Rio, Iron Maiden.
Wow.
So
I knew that was going to be the answer.
Bit of a
I
jump.
knew that was
Excuse me a second. This thing's possessed, so let me just turn it off for you. There you go. Now it won't keep constantly opening every time you pelvic thrust at it.
Anyway, so that's what got me into the guitar stuff, And I think it was The Evil That Men Do, that song where the big giant Eddie comes out, that part just sticks out even to this day.
It's such a left turn from.
But there are elements of Iron Maiden that you would definitely say can lend themselves to march music. So I mean, and how awesome is it that the singer is the pilot of their plane? I mean, come on. Anyway,
See, that's so funny because I thought I was the one that was here's all this religious, conservative stuff, and then I left turn into Nirvana. No, that's way more drastic. Yeah, that's way more drastic.
Yeah, anyway, so
George Michael and Green Stage.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, at least Nirvana had a weirdly partially dissected angel on their.
That's
cover.
true. That's true. Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
And I'm actually not the Green Stage thing. I'm actually I like to say I like Mozart to Metallica. And everything in between.
Yeah.
But that's not 100% true because there are certain subgenres where I dip a toe and I'm like, I really like this particular act, but I don't like some of these other acts that are surrounding it.
So you're a Poison fan, huh?
Poison.
I mean, yeah. Don't make me do the... Well, anyway.
They have some good songs.
They for the time, I think they were very solid in what they did. Brett, please stop touring. Please just stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Vince Neil, please, just stop, okay? We got it.
So I got into the whole new wave of British heavy metal stuff, and that led me to during high school I discovered bands like Megadeth, Anthrax, Death, Devil Driver.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And then I got into Batushka and all that doom metal, death metal stuff.
Wow, you went deep.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I know all those stuff when you really look at the music, it's symphony stuff. You could take the parts, assign them to different violins, cellos, stuff like that. Just sound
I love anytime you get somebody posts a clip of here's a string quartet doing Metallica or whatever.
Yeah.
Or when a band has really put in the effort for that symphonic, whether they brought in strings or not, whether they brought in an orchestra or not, you could tell they're trying to do more than just play 4 instruments.
Yeah.
Queensryche.
Yeah.
Did a really good job of that too, and I really loved Queensryche.
Yeah, my mom's a real big fan.
Jeff Tate on the other hand.
Yeah.
When you say Queensryche, Jeff Tate Queensryche or post Jeff Tate Queensryche?
Jeff Tate. It's just I like Van Halen, not Van Hagar, as much.
You don't like Gary Sharon at all as a singer in Van Halen? Van Halen 3?
I like Gary Sharon as a singer in Extreme.
Shots fired.
No, Van Halen 3, the existential Van Halen album.
What are you talking about? I don't
exactly. No, see, they want to forget about it too.
Exactly.
All
right. So. Moving on. Let's talk current musical influences. What's got you jazzed now? What do you listen to when you want to get your juices flowing?
Ooh. I gotta think on that for a second. Somebody else go.
Okay. It's Tennis Match.
I've been listening to Alter Bridge.
I love Alter Bridge. I also like Slash, the band Slash.
Yeah.
I like Miles' singing, the way he phrases stuff.
And I like Tremonti's side project too. It's a little heavier.
What's that?
Guitar player from Alter Bridge.
What's?
He's got 4 albums that he does
Oh, you mean solo?
Yeah, he's got his own solo project that he does.
I wasn't aware. Sorry.
Yeah, but I like that because it's still melody driven, but it's a little more heavy,
right on
speed.
Well, it's good to hear he kept to what he was good at.
Yeah. So.
He didn't go off and be like, "There's my bluegrass album."
No, he went a little heavier than Alter Bridge actually is. So
right on.
Tight.
older players, but a new project or newer, the Winery Dogs.
I actually am familiar with them a little bit. I've just heard a few
Well,
things.
Kotzen was in Poison, and that's probably the best Poison album you'll find.
Are they local?
Pardon?
Are they local?
Winery Dogs?
Yeah.
No, it's Billy Sheehan,
Mike Portnoy.
Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater.
I feel like I've
and
seen
a million
them,
other bands.
but they come to town and play a lot.
They played at Vamp twice.
That must be what I remember seeing. I remember seeing a thing like, Winery Dogs are playing. And for some reason, when I see you playing at Vamp, unless you're a really big name, I assume you're local. But no.
The odd thing is like back east or points moving this way, they'll play a room that's 4 or 5 times the size of the Brooklyn Bowl.
Mhm.
And when they come to face, they play Vamp. And I'm like,
You know what, though? Vamp, I mean, let's be honest. If you're a rock band, Vamp, they got it down.
Yeah.
oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying size and capacity.
For a band like
What
that.
amazes me is you can go to like Vamp and it's like $10, maybe free,
Yeah.
depending, and you're seeing it, you're just like, this is amazing. What I found at Vamp, if anybody's been to Vamp, you know that kick drum's gonna, and they love the bass there as well. I stand, if I can, I get right up against the stage, I stand in front of the sub, and suddenly I can hear the lyrics.
See, we're musicians. We stand in the back like this.
Right. But there's 2 sweet spots at Vamp if you want to actually like hear everything. Block the sub with your
Block the
legs,
sub.
or stand right in the center.
Yeah.
And everybody tries to get in the center, so I figured that out. And I was at a metal show actually. I was like, suddenly I went, hey, I can hear lyrics. This is amazing. Which, as a singer
Yeah.
and a lyricist, you're like, I want to. What are you singing, metal boy? I never understood the. This is going to show my age a little bit. I never understood the thrash metal, the type of thing.
Cookie Monster.
I get that you're trying to channel that general thing, but you can balance it out with lyrics people can understand. Why do you make it hard for me to figure out what the hell you're saying? Have you tried to review a CD of that? You're like, I like the music. It's very difficult. So if you're in a thrash, if that's your jam and you're doing that type of guttural, good on you, go for it. But in your liner notes, can you please put lyrics? Because we're not going to know what it is you're trying to convey.
That's fair.
It's not doing a service to me so much as it is to you. As a lyricist, I care. I want people. That's why I enunciate. I want people to know what it is I'm trying to say. And if I'm hearing more growl than consonants, I'm going to have a hard time. I'm just saying. That's just me. Moving on. Oh, current musical influences.
Go for it, say now.
Yeah, we're on the rhythmless section.
So right now, it's like I said, I'll never stop listening to Iron Maiden.
I'm not a number!
I'm a free man.
Which wasn't really Iron Maiden at all. It was a
Yeah.
sample, but whatever.
And Johnny Cash, and
Bit of a leap.
there's a hip hop artist or band or group they call it Delirious, and they like with the one album I just really like. I can listen to that on repeat.
Delirious.
Yeah,
Delirious. What's the name of the album? Self-titled?
I have no idea.
Okay,
It's
then.
like Outer Space or something like that.
Right on.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. One of the things I love about this show is that I hear people name musicians that are their influences, and I'm like, I have no idea who that is. I'm going to have to check them out now. And if they're local, I get them on the show. I like to say I don't have the time, the money, or the liver to go see all the bands I want to see in town, so I bring you to me. You're last, buddy.
So, recently, the thing that I've been getting into is at first, I think I focused more on like rock, and I was very like specific to a certain genre. I think the thing that fascinates me anymore is a person's ability to just write an iconic song. And so I honestly have been getting into I'm a sucker for a hook. I really am. And so like, whether it be country or like you mentioned hip hop or whatever, it's just it's amazing to me as a songwriter. That's the goal, right? You like to write a song that'll be around in 20 or 30 or 40 years.
Right.
It, to me is amazing. And so like when I like, for example, I have like this closet side of me that's like this singer-songwriter, like Jason Mraz. Like I love Jason Mraz.
Wordsmith extraordinary.
Absolutely.
Straight to the Z. I love him too.
And so like that's kind of the thing. Like I love Jason Mraz. I love there's some country tunes out there that just have these really incredible storytelling element to them that are really amazing. So that's kind of been my thing. And not only that, but the bands that are just iconic. You know, I know these are older bands, but they're still around, like bands like Foo Fighters. They're rock for everybody that says rock is dead. Foo Fighters are killing it right now.
Any faithful viewers know my love for Foo Fighters and Dave Grohl.
And what's amazing to me is how they do it. You know what I'm saying? Like in a country where rock is dead, supposedly they're one of the biggest bands around. You know, and so it's amazing to look at that and go, okay, what are they doing? Another one of mine is Pearl Jam's getting ready to come out with a new album.
Yeah,
that's
I remember
another
seeing
band
that. And
where
I'm
just like,
are you going to stick to what you're known
and
for?
they don't. And that's the thing is every album.
But even when they change, it's still like that's Pearl Jam.
True.
It's still Pearl Jam. They're not going to come out with a bluegrass album.
Right,
again,
exactly. But at the same time, when you go get it, I'm excited because I'm like, this one's going to sound different than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
You just, even if slightly, you know.
The one song from Pearl Jam that always sticks out in my mind that I'm like, I don't know why did you do this? Was where can my baby be? And I always it's a cover, right? Yeah. And I know it's a cover, which is why I sang it. But don't sue me. But I was just like, why did? And it's a live recording, the one that's on the radio. I'm like, why did you do that when that's not what you guys are known for?
Right.
But at the same time, you do you. I mean, obviously it's working. So
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But I love.
But like you said, when you're a sucker for a hook, and that was one of the other connections we made right off the bat. Like I named the Bon Jovi thing, and the Air Supply, the Bee Gees. If you can stay away from the sign of the times production, that kind of pegs you, to the thing. A song is a song.
Oh, there's some Bon Jovi stuff that's timeless, and there's other stuff that's like,
but
that's 80s, that's straight 80s.
Yeah, especially before the one before.
Slippery When Wet or New Jersey?
The one before Slippery Away, yeah.
The
two before Slippery Away.
Oh, crap, now.
That's dated right into all the Nova era.
Finally, go back in the Rolodex there. What is that? I can't remember.
The first one is 1700 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah. And then
Slippery in Jersey. Jersey, probably, I think, is a classic. I think there's some great stuff on it.
I remember hearing New Jersey in its entirety.
And he brought in Hugh McDonald, the lead on the bass, and the rhythm section is just locked.
Yeah, but when their last two albums that came out, when they did It's My Life, that whole, like in the 2000s, right? Like they were like...
Right. That was them basically saying, let's try to be relevant to what's going on.
But they were still Bon Jovi.
Yeah. They were still Bon Jovi. Yeah. But the video, I was like, all right, I see what you're doing. I see you, Bon Jovi. But then Richie and him split. And,
But there's an album in between called These Days, which the singer-songwriter thing, that's where he starts to take that direction.
Right.
Yeah. And it's more funky, and most people have not heard it. Yeah.
What I'd like to see, I'd like to hear a Tito solo album. See what he does.
There is a track he sings on or two on that 100,000.
He gets his Ringo moment.
Can't be wrong yet. It's some Italian song. I'm going to have some wino.
Some of my favorite I know this is turning into a Bon Jovi episode, but some of my favorite.
Well, because we got the singer-songwriter, and the guy's been around, and then he moves to Nashville, and he's in with the Nashville guys, has a country hit.
Yeah, that one with
Jennifer.
But some of my favorite things by them is the offcuts, the beat, the ones that never made it to the radio. But like, So You Want to Be a Cowboy. You listen to that, you're like, that could be. I could totally picture Johnny Cash. I could picture many people singing it, and it's just timeless. It's not. That's not
especially after Johnny Cash did Trent Reznor.
Oh God, I was going to say that.
So you could see that. Yeah.
I was going to say his version of Hurt.
If you write a good song and read the Sign of the Times production off it,
When the first time he did that and Rusty Cage from
Rusty Cage,
Rusty Cage.
When Johnny Cash did that, I'm like,
okay,
thank you, yes.
So quick story. I had the privilege of seeing Chris Cornell on his solo acoustic tour. This was I think it was 2014 or 15. Greatest moment of my life, him doing Rusty Cage, the Johnny Cash version.
Cool.
It was amazing. Like he started into, I go, oh, he's not just doing Rusty Cage. He's doing a cover of a cover version of his own song.
Right. I was this close. I was like, hey, I was in an original indie rock band. I was like, hey, what if we did the Johnny Cash version of Hurt? And they're like, no, it's a little too meta. It's a little too.
Yeah.
Now we're doing a cover of a cover,
right?
And no, let's not do that because we're in an original indie rock band, and I always regret that we didn't do that because I can do that. All right, moving on. Favorite show memory as a band. I know you haven't had a whole bunch, but is there a memory that sticks out? It doesn't have to be as a band, but just when you were on stage. and something great or weird or possibly illegal happened.
Actually, you know what? The very first Vamp show.
I would agree.
Right.
All those things could be right there.
Right, but I did some fill in like Great Divide,
Mm-hmm.
like spur of the moment kind of thing, and now it's
Actually,
part of the song.
Oh, I love that.
That's what he turned around and commented on.
I love when a song gets organic like that.
Yeah, and now because I did that, just
And any other drummer that sits in is gonna not know that, and you're gonna feel that emptiness.
Absolutely.
And I've had that even to covers.
So,
I've had it happen where
I
it's
was-
like,
I was
oh, here's
saying-
where he played. No, he's not there.
so these show like I was at the live shows produce things like that where those with the new material where we've been able to let's just try something because it's live. What the heck? And then it's like it catches somebody like his attention. He's like, okay, I like that. Now we have to do it every time.
It's that moment, like when you're on stage, and I remember telling him this. Like, I just remember him doing that, and just like chills going up my spine, going, "Oh my god!"
I've
Like,
had that, and
wow.
you feel lucky.
Yes,
Yes, you feel very, very blessed and lucky. You're just like, oh, I'm so glad that moment happened.
Yes, yeah,
I hope it happens again, but I'm not going to push it.
yeah.
Yes. Anybody else favorite show memory?
I think for me it's the St. George one. First one I did.
yeah.
Because that was the like second show I ever done in front of an audience.
Oh, ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because during the previous summer I did a graduation show with a bunch of friends, but this one was all original music aside from it was like two
Yeah,
songs.
just
we played
Yeah,
a few
songs.
songs. Yeah.
And just looking out at all the people and seeing that they enjoyed it.
Was it like a fair or festival or something?
It's like a street
Yes.
fest.
I know St. George.
It's like their first Friday kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that. If you want to play in front of a crowd and you're willing to play
It was
outside.
a good crowd too.
Yeah.
It was very good.
See, that's the thing about once you get out of Vegas, because Vegas is so oversaturated.
Yeah,
That's the thing about playing it. Anywhere else, you're just like, oh, there's a band from Vegas. Hey, let's go see them.
and from St. George, I will say St. George they're hungry for good music, man. Like every time we've ever been there, like it's been, they're really.
I had a band on here actually traveled from St. George to do the interview. I was amazed.
Really?
Yeah, he posted like, I'm going to be on a TV show. I'm like, no,
Going to Vegas, baby.
not a TV show. But anyway, Raven Kane, shout out. But they were like, yeah, we're going to go do this. And he posted pictures of it. And I'm like, wow, it looks like an actual festival.
Yeah.
And I never gotten that. The best I've gotten is 1,000 high school kids. And I always wanted that moment of just walking out and hearing the wall of sound, feeling it just once. Whether they like you or not, they're excited that, hey, we're here. Yeah. All right. Anybody else famous show memory? Did we get everybody?
Just quickly, mine was like more sentimental. I did originals from when I started playing,
Mm-hmm.
so in the mid '80s till about '94.
Okay.
And when the Cobain thing happened, and I didn't know where I fit in anymore, kind of regressed, and I became the hired gun guy and the backup guy, and however. When I moved here, I told my wife, I said, I'm done with covers. I'm juggling 4 or 5 bands back east. And
Sorry, I'm remembering 19-year-old me. I never picked covers.
and it was a good 3-year search before we bumped into each other.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some writing took place in between and meeting a lot of people and the Flake thing and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time back on stage playing original music was
That's a good feeling, yeah. And especially when it's well received.
Yeah.
If you're hearing
and it was Vamp.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah, so like right to a national stage.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I'll say this for Vamp. I've never heard booing there.
Gotta throw a shout out to John Gist too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
John Gist,
Yeah.
who coincidentally, right before you got here, I was messaging him back and forth. We became Facebook friends. I went to House of Blues for the Whackin' Metal Battle,
Yeah.
where I saw Minus win. Good job.
Yeah.
Video for that is going to be coming. I'm not going
They
to point to it.
killed it that night.
Oh,
by the way.
Yes, you were there.
Yes.
I ran into him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It was really cool. And I found myself I was like, oh, there's an empty seat. And I said, hey, can I sit here? And I sit down. And over the course of checking Facebook, seeing his posts about how he's judging the battle,
Yeah.
looking over and seeing his judging paperwork, and I'm like, I look at his face a little closer, I look at his profile pic, I'm like, how? And I happen to sit next to the judging table, which was awesome, as I'm doing a review of the show. So that was really cool, and because of that, he sent me a "You Should Like This Page" thing for Void Vader, which is a metal band, or most metal hard rock.
Yeah.
They're going to be on the show.
Cool. Oh, good. Yeah.
I get to do my first actual go to the venue, do an interview backstage in the
I
arena.
say they're coming up this week, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click that button right there and hit the bells. You'll be notified. I'm going to be interviewing Void Vader. Thanks, John Gist. Is it Gist or Gist?
Gist? I don't know.
Thanks, John.
Is it GIF or GIF?
You're right, yeah.
Same thing.
Well, according to the guy who created it, it's GIF, but he's wrong.
Thanks, VRR.
It's GIF. Did you hear that actually the brand peanut butter GIF is going to come out with a GIF?
Wow.
Just to,
Yeah, actually,
I was
saw
like,
that.
I want both. I want both. That's awesome. And then I'll put them right there. All right, moving on, because you are on a bit of a time schedule. From favorite show memory, we got everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite venue? Doesn't have to be in town. Just favorite venue you've either seen music or played at.
Just real quick, this one's just for me because this was before the guys got in, but this was a really cool experience for me. So just through some different contacts that I made about a year and a half ago, I had the privilege of going and actually doing a gig in Times Square in New York City, which I had never even been to New York City. So like the first time kind of being in New York City and then first time being in Times Square and getting to perform there.
Like on a stage?
On a stage in New York
Like
City.
on the news kind of when they do
Not
that?
on the news,
but when
but
they do
there was-
that thing.
Right. There was kind of like this big, like, it was this talent organization. They were doing like fashion and music and all this kind of stuff.
Wow.
And we had done a showcase, and it was kind of an audition that they were like, oh, you know, you were one of we need a rock act. You guys are killer. Do you want to come and do it? So, and it was crazy being in Times Square.
And you were singing?
Yeah.
She's talking about a built-in audience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's one of those moments where I was kind of like, this is like once in a lifetime, not once in a lifetime, but the first time I had experienced where I was like, this is a new level.
And when you see the video, it looks like it's earlier the day New Year's Eve. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've had someone say, you know, I played in Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
I think that topped. Sorry, Sean. I think that tops it because
Yeah.
that you never expected to end up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
That's really awesome. Next, actually, talk to the camera. I'm gonna refill.
Okay.
I've been waiting for the
Go
ice.
on, somebody.
I've been waiting for the ice.
Go on, somebody talk.
I really like the House of Blues here. Back
Yes.
in the day. It's very doesn't feel.
I know it's called the House of Rules by a lot of people, and
Wow.
there's money. You go with some money, but they put on a quality production. And I've played there too, and that music, having a sound guy there and a sound guy here, makes all the difference.
It's a nice room.
Yeah,
Not too big either. Like,
Mhm.
it's a good intimate venue.
and the focus is completely on stage.
Right.
There's nowhere else for them to pay attention to. I love that.
Yeah.
I shot Casey a video before we came over today. So Breaking Benjamin's from my hometown,
Oh, right on.
and a bunch of others came through. But there was a place called the Staircase, which had it was the double decker upstairs. So it's kind of set up like Vamp, just longer, wider with the upstairs.
Right. Oh, Vamp with a second floor would be awesome. No, go ahead.
Then they closed that
Oh.
and built a bigger one. It was like the Jerk, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they built this bigger one. That was my favorite place to play. And Dirty Books had set up. If you remember them from Atlantic Records, they set up shop there in our hometown. So that was the medium-sized concert venue. And I got to play on those stages a bunch of times.
I don't know. Anyone else? Favorite venue? No. You can say no. It's
Mine would have
okay.
to be like the Grand Garden Arena, MGM. I think that's what it's called.
I haven't been there.
Yeah. The only reason is because I was able to go be relatively front row at a show there, and it was just, like, really.
And who was
awesome.
the show?
Take a guess.
Iron Maiden.
Yep.
I knew it.
I waited
Okay.
7 hours outside for it.
7 hours.
Yeah.
He comes over and
Super fan.
He comes over and plays with us, right?
Mhm.
And he leaves and says, well, he's got a hell of an Iron Maiden sound. Like it's
Well, there you go. Play what you know, right?
That's
And he does a killer Scorpions too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Favorite venue? Did you do yours?
Yeah. It's the House of Blues.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Wow. I'm drinking. All right. From favorite venue, is there a dream show you guys want to play, or some tour you want to be part of? What's Second Echo working towards? World domination.
I mean,
We're trying to find the first Echo still, actually.
Nice.
yeah. I mean, I'll just go back to my original. Like, I've always been kind of a big dreamer. So when I think of dream shows, I think of the people that, like, for me, it's the bands that I look up to, and I think our style would fit. So it's bands like Foo Fighters. It's bands like, and then if it's a stair step thing, it's I loved Tantric's first album, and I've always followed them and just love, so that would be like probably a short-term goal. And then like the dream goal would be bands like the Foo Fighters or some of those where it's like to be able to just, to be on a show with those bands that for me, it's about the individual, the songwriter, being able to be a part of anything with those individuals. I think would be just epic.
And the Foo Fighters especially seem like they'd be so cool to hang out with.
Yeah.
They've already been through the fire and through the crap, and they've stopped taking the whiskey bottle to the stage, and they've already been through all that. So now they're just like, all right, hang out, let's have a good time.
Well, and then like to that point, like the level of influence that someone like Dave Grohl had on me, it was really funny. Like, so we did the Innocent video. We were joking around about the Innocent video and how like in that particular video, the band was kind of just me. So it was, doing all the different parts
With your brothers.
with my brothers. Right. So then, but then the funny thing is just about a year, like within the last year, Dave Grohl did his
play
where he did the exact same thing. And I'm like,
I was going to pull that out and say that.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Dave Grohl's play,
It's amazing.
23 minutes of him. Every single version of him is doing a non-stop shot.
And at times showing, a dozen of him or whatever doing different things.
And there's takes of him where he gets to like 22 minutes and he's like, do
Yeah.
it better. And just every time I've heard that, just the changes and the way it grows and swells and drops out and everything, I'm always like, what am I doing with my instrument? Why am I not practicing right now?
Yeah.
Same with Sting. When I hear Sting play all these like different instruments.
Yeah.
You know who plays like 7 or 8 instruments? Dolly Parton.
I believe it.
In her 2-hour show.
Wow.
Yeah, you're just like, what am I doing? Anyway, cool. We got everybody. Yep, cool. Let's talk gear. Usually the drummer wants to go first. How many drum sets you have?
4.
Which one's in the living room?
1.
Yeah. So
The practice one.
basically, what are you rocking right now when you do a show? Anybody wants to start?
I have a black pearl kit that I pull out.
I know.
Use that. Well, depends on the venue.
Right.
Like last time we used it. He had a drum kit that we used and just kind of shared because it was multiple bands and
Yeah.
it's just easier to.
And that's cool that if I love anytime there's like kind of a back line and all the drummers are like, yeah, I'm fine. I'll bring my snare, I'll bring my cymbal, or whatever, but make it quick and seamless.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that. What heads?
I like Evans typically.
I don't know. No mix. Okay.
I try to streamline everything I have.
Right on.
So, even my hardware is like Pearl. It's like Pearl kit, Pearl hardware,
Right. Cymbals.
Sabians.
Nice. That is this. My daughter's had a sleepover. We lost camera 3 apparently. So we're gonna take a quick booze break here. So, boom. We're back. Yay, booze.
Where'd we go?
Clink, clink. You got Drake's. Ooh. All right. So we're talking gear, and you talked about kind of what you're currently rocking, right? Mm-hmm. Are you any sort of sponsorship, or what sticks are you rocking, or?
I don't have any kind of sponsorship, no.
Okay. How about sticks? Just whatever you.
I use innovative percussions.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed definitely drummers are very picky about what they choose once they've been drumming for a while. They're like, I really like this particular thing, and I'm not just going like bargain basement kind of pricing.
We found it works for you too.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of been a little bit of a rebel about like, well, everyone uses this kind of stick. I was like, well, I don't want to be everyone using that kind of stick. I'm gonna go find one that's like a little more obscure, no one really knows about as much.
I didn't really
different like that.
I didn't really pay attention to tone or anything, regardless of any instrument, until I got in the studio and suddenly I started hearing the differences, and I was like, oh, that's why they go on about it.
Right, but if you change out like a snare drum on nothing else, it'll change the whole sound.
Oh yeah, there are snares that are just like, bam!
But it'll change everything else will sound different too in the context. So
cool. Who's next? What are you currently rocking?
I'm gonna bow out of this one because out of all of us, I am the least of the gearheads. Like I just
Well, what guitar are you rocking?
so I've got an ESP that I use mostly, and then I have a Paul Reed Smith that I play. But my acoustic is Taylor. But I'll be honest with you, like I love it when people come to me like, dude, what kind of wood is that? What kind of what kind of pickups do you have in there? And like my eyes glaze over, and I'm just like,
Well, I was going to ask, is there a particular set of brand of strings you like, or picks, or no, just whatever you...
well, I will say like Ernie Ball has a set of strings that are hybrid
Ridiculous.
strings that I use. They're called heavy bottom slinky
It's
tops.
gonna be quick and easy.
But again, like it's kind of like if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, here's another brand. You want to try them?" I'll be like, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
Are they cheap?
Yeah,
Do they
exactly.
sound good? Sure. You know, it's like
Hey, here's a pocket of picks I found
Yeah.
in the store.
Whereas
Right,
like
at a show.
these guys like set up their own guitars and change out pickups and do all that.
But as the
like-
front end, that you want them to be like
Absolutely. And
Yes.
I want to be like,
Yep.
I'm going to concern myself with
Right.
songwriting. You guys deal with that stuff.
Every guitar up on that wall in room 6 is
Yeah.
less than $200.
Oh, yeah.
And they're more than one is from a pawn shop.
Yeah.
And I could not tell you what the pickups are.
Absolutely.
And I'm lucky to tell you what the strings are on the acoustic.
Hey, what kind of wood's in it? From a tree, I'm assuming?
Maple?
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends. Which guitar are we talking about?
Yeah.
Laminated MDF? I don't know. But you know, there are times where you're just like, ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
How much is that? And you're like, yeah, I like the sound of it. It stays in tone. And that's as far as I go.
To that point, my Paul Reed Smith, I was looking for a new guitar. I was walking through Guitar Center,
Yep.
and there was this Robin's Egg Blue. And if you don't know it looks like something that somebody puked up out of the 60s. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
Right.
baby blue, powder blue. I walked by, I was like, man, that's an ugly guitar. So then I talked to the sales associate. I told them what I was looking for. They're like, you need a Paul Reed Smith. I go, yeah, if I have $1,000 to drop, but I don't have $1,000 to drop. What do you have? So he's like, well, here's this Paul
Ugly
Reed
guitar.
Smith. It's a little cheaper. And he showed me this Robin's Egg Blue guitar, and I picked it up and I played it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really don't want to buy this guitar, but I think
But
I'm
the
going to
price is
kick
right.
myself
Yeah.
if I don't, because it plays so well and it sounds so good, you know. So
The thing I've always done acoustically is what's my price point? Okay, cool. And then I try one, and I'll play all the other ones in that price point, and whatever one I gravitate back towards, that's the one I get. So I've got 2 acoustics, and that's kind of the story.
Yeah.
I know we're running a little short on time. You guys got to get going soon.
use
What
that
are,
hits right
what
there.
are you currently rocking?
Did you see the name brand?
No.
That's right, because nobody pays me, so I grind them all off.
Wow. You know,
Wow.
It's been I have an engineering background, so
okay.
it's been heavily
Here's the gear
modified.
whore. All right.
Some guys will know
The
what this
gear
is
whore.
because I cannot get rid of these print markers. After I did all the modifications to this,
Yeah.
I got some lumber and from scratch.
Does it rhyme with GSB?
No.
Oh, really? It's not ESP?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So I built one from scratch. I can send you some pictures. Put some custom electronics in it. It came with some stuff I already wanted.
Did you purposely not?
No, that was bought that way.
I'm trying to figure out why.
It's an artist series. So the artist himself came up with that design.
Okay.
What's the purpose of that?
What, scalping?
Yeah.
Get better.
There's less wood in your way.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
gotcha,
these
gotcha.
two they've turned it up to 11. They're slightly deeper scallops. It looks like you purposely pulled out 2 of them.
But all my gear.
Right.
I will say, because I had an endorsement with Washburn back in the day, LaBella Strings, don't need longer. And I was just on the verge of one with Carbon. I'm a 28-year Carbon user.
Right on.
Love the stuff.
Oh,
But I still heavily modify all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. First time I ever got my hands on it, someone had a Carbon, and it was red and had all the funky angles, and I remember going like, "Oh, this is not just a utilitarian thing."
Yeah, the family split, and the Carbon became the electronics
Oh, really?
division. So I use their heads and
I
stuff.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Alright. Real quick, how hard is that 430 ton?
We're okay. We're okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because I don't want to
Because I'm going to
shortchange
get to him because he's actually building a guitar.
you. Ooh.
So actually let him slide right in here and take up the rest of the
Yeah,
By
absolutely.
all means.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to scoot over a little bit. Maybe get in camera and all that jazz. What are you currently rocking, Mackenzie?
Well, today I am rocking. So it's mostly Jackson Stealth Pro, which is really obscure.
Yes, it is. I actually am familiar with the name, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't heard him play.
Yeah, well, it's actually outside, but I can show it to you if you want to see it after. But anyway, it's I think it's like 1990 model, but I just got it.
Bring it back to the 90s.
I think it was like stock when I bought it, but
Ooh.
I modified the hell out of it. Like I changed all the electronics, the pickups. I put in a new bridge,
As you do.
and
What about the, is it a locking bridge or?
yeah, it's locking bridge. It was first it was a Shaller, which was really rusted beyond repair. So every time I did a dive bomb, it would just come back unhitched. So I changed it out for a Godo, and so it's been holding up. And
Nice.
my second one, the one we use for the standard stuff, it's
The
a
standard stuff.
it's a Fender, just mostly
Did you
stock,
modify it also, right?
Fender,
Yeah.
a Fender what?
Strat,
A Strat. Okay, is it a?
Mexican.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Where's it from? Mexican Strats. Nothing wrong with them at all. I would love a Japanese Strat,
Oh yeah.
but
I was between buying a Japanese Strat or the Jackson. I went with Jackson because it was cheaper.
So you've seen my guitar wall.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed the white on white Fender I have up there is a Strat Squire Bullet.
yeah.
It's like beep beep beep. How small can we make it? But that's the first electric guitar I ever had, and that's what I learned on for playing electric. And when you pick up anything like a Gretsch or something,
Yeah.
after that you're just like, God, how can somebody do this for 3 hours?
About what year
Which
is that?
Squire Bullet?
Yeah.
I was in college. I was broke. 90 something. I don't know what year it is.
Quick tutorial.
I'd have to look at the
Quick
serial number.
tutorial. So when they started making the lower line stuff,
Mhm.
it was made out of plywood. That's why it weighs so much.
It was $99 at Guitar
Yeah,
Center.
yeah. So, it was made out of so eventually, as production moved out of Japan to Korea, Taiwan, into China, Chinese stuff's all CNC. So as long as it's not swamp lumber,
It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but no, we like high end stuff. We used to be like alder maples.
Right.
Anything that if you can get a CNC machine piece of alder maple now, and if you've got some know-how, it's easy. To
But tell you what, when you're doing 3 or 4 hour cover gig, having a light little guitar,
Yeah.
man, it makes
Yeah.
a difference.
Yeah.
Especially when all you're doing is rhythm
Mhm.
and you're playing bar chords, it makes a huge difference.
That's what Ibanez was made for. Right?
Yeah.
The acoustic I have up there on the in the not on the wall is a Ibanez cutaway, and that was my biggest step up. Was like, ooh, it's a real acoustic guitar and it's electric. Hey,
So as the Satch 5 thing happened, they got thinner and thinner and
Yeah.
smaller and lighter.
Yeah, I mean my Jackson is like
yeah, he didn't mention you.
thing. It's a really thing.
Right on.
Anyway, so those two guitars are what I mainly use, but
Now
No,
you're
there's some stuff that I don't like about them, which is why I'm making my own.
which is why yes.
which is really completely different. It's not a like a stock shape. Like it's not a
Right.
Strat. It's not a Les Paul shape. It's something I came up with, which is probably because I was going to school for interior design before. So I just designed
Oh, really?
Designed it all, yeah.
Right on.
And so hopefully they'll be done within a year.
But share what you said. Like you said that recently you had to set up your guitar because of the change in the weather. But you said this next one you're going to make
Yeah.
differently so that doesn't affect it.
My Jackson, it has a quarter saw maple neck, which is strong, but it's still susceptible to climate changes. So I'm gonna make it out of what's it called?
Carbon fiber.
No.
Pressure treated decking.
Roasted maple.
Ooh.
Quarter sawn, and I'm gonna put
That sounds
two-
nice and tasty.
2 bars of what are they? Graphite reinforcement with Rick tight fretboard, which is just like a composite,
Right on.
so it won't.
So basically, you're taking as much natural out as possible.
Yeah, basically.
As much raw material out.
Because-
I would love to hear what a guitar made out of pressure treated lumber sounds
there
like.
is
They're out there.
There's
Are they
a
really?
company called Aristides,
Mhm.
where they just make it out of like entirely epoxy. and it just sounds
Really?
great.
I mean,
Does it sound good?
yeah.
I mean, you won't have to
I
worry
mean,
about humidity.
I made them out of aluminum, 60/60
Oh.
aluminum.
It's not like Sailor Steve.
Yeah,
You know Sailor Steve?
I'm aware.
Yeah. It's like, well, I got a cigar
Well,
box.
actually,
and,
if you go to NAMM, there is a guy now, like actually, where he makes the whole thing out of
Oh, I'm
metal,
sure.
perforated. And,
Wow. Yeah, so it'll be fun. I'll have the Washburn extended cutaway.
Right on.
Yeah, so
Real quick, jumping back to you because we didn't talk about it. You use any pedals?
Same thing. I sand all the names off them with tape on them. And he'll tell you because every time we got to go out and play and I got to break this stuff down for the different kind of shows
Yeah.
to go back and record, I got to wire the shit all back up together.
What do you use? I know they're not paying you, but if someone wants to get your sound, are you? Let me
Just
rephrase that.
attacks.
Give me categories. So, are you using a fuzz pedal? Or are you using?
Yeah, there's a. It's kind of like a PA system, so it's three-way. You would need. It's a stereo out bass. So
Okay.
the low all goes to one thing. It's total. It was a Rickenbacker design that Billy Sheehan put into his Fender. That's actually a Yamaha Billy Sheehan signature.
Yamaha.
So when that hit the market, I'm like, well, geez, here's 50% of what I already want done.
Mm-hmm.
So I've spent about 18 years with that instrument. Got rid of everything else, built my own. The pedals run through. There's a crossover, some distortion, a phase and a flange, and most of it's like preamp trickery. But the whole idea is consider it like a PA system. This is your low, this is your mid, this is your high.
So you basically have an entire system there, and you just run it out to the house system.
I carry around 2 amps, 2 cabinets.
Oh, you don't even plug into the PA or anything like that. You
They
just-
can take me DI off of either one of my amps or the other, but generally the one that's got all the snot and the effect on it. And
Snot.
It's crossed over about 250
Right.
hertz. That would get a mic like a guitar would.
Okay. Any particular strings you're using or picks?
Stainless.
He sands off the names on the picks.
He doesn't use
Yeah,
picks.
these are the picks.
But you stainless strings?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody, bassist or otherwise, say they use stainless
I'm
strings.
of the school that John Entwistle. So
Right.
John Entwistle, Getty Lee, all the guys with that. The guy from Yes.
I mean, it sounds like, especially if you're like a tour, you're playing a lot, you're a touring musician, whatever, and you want low maintenance. Stainless steel sounds like a way to go if you can get away with it.
It's depending on what fret you have. It's a bitch on that because the frets
Well,
will burn
yeah,
out
of
faster.
course.
So like I'll use nickel in some cases.
stainless steel frets.
What my nickel?
Yeah, stainless steel fret, stainless on stainless, right?
Stainless on stainless. They spark. No. That'd be awesome. You're playing and ping. Anyway, no, that's pretty much it. Amp head, any of that? What do you?
I said it's all carbon, but anything I own's been modified
Right on.
because I can do the electronics, I can do the wood, I can do the machining, work in thousands, blah blah blah.
Engineering, right?
Actually, again, the first time he comes to my house, he sees all the crap in my garage, the necks and bodies. And there happens to be a guy, I think his name's Andy, he lives across the street from me. He builds and paints also.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I was debating with.
we're gonna be hanging out more.
Because
and more
taking-
and
you
more.
need to start a
taking
guitar
my
line.
plans to him and having him
Right.
mine.
Jumping back to you, lead guitars, strings, picks, pedals,
Uh,
amps.
I don't use any amps. Well, I have an amp, but we don't use it.
Are you just basically rack into the?
Well, it's a
Pardon me.
shitty V amp, Behringer, that for some reason I was able to make sound decent.
Nice.
And strings, I use the Dario NYXLs
Mhm.
because I have really acidic sweat, so those last longer for me.
And that is something that only you could possibly know. Like
Yeah.
you just learn from time. Awesome.
Yeah. And picks.
Picks is whatever you find at a gig or what.
Dunlop Jazz 3s.
I know.
Yeah.
There's two schools of thought with picks. There's me, which is, oh hey, a pick. Oh hey, a pick. I like this one. And then there's people like you that are like, I use this.
Yeah.
And that's probably the difference between the two of us, and that's why you are doing this and I'm doing this. No, I prefer more the medium, but that's the way I play. My soloing is at best fits the song. I'll say that. It doesn't. I'm not ever. Never the speed, never the fast picking. it's just not my thing. But then again, I don't need the picks that do that, and I also don't need I'm not really going for it where I need a super thick one. So, all right, real quick question. This is one of the dreaded usual interview questions that every band hates. How would you describe your musical style?
I'm assuming everybody's looking at me since I'm the one that's gonna have
Do
to
tell.
answer this.
Blink, 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 blink.
Since you're the one who writes everything.
It's a hodgepodge.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
right.
having heard your music,
Yeah.
I would definitely say that all your influences are there.
yeah.
But if you had, what's the elevator pitch? You know, when you're like,
That's okay.
what do you say to a venue that wants to book you?
Um,
So they can put you with the other bands like Foo Fighters.
yeah, I would say we're guitar-driven rock with really strong hooks.
Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
Is that fair?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I can see that. And
The hook part, I think, is very emphasized.
Yeah.
It's very prominent.
And
Because that element, that's kind of the poppier element of what
Right.
we do. Because
Well-
it's not. There is definitely a pop element to it with the hooks, I think.
what I got, I heard your stuff, and what I've got is familiar yet unique.
That's
And
fair.
I always appreciate that, where I'm like,
Yeah.
this sounds like other stuff I know, but at the same time, you're doing your own thing.
but not. Yeah.
You're not just ripping
Sure.
off or trying to say, take the easy way out.
Yeah.
You've got a song which I think it's the first one you're doing today. What was it called again?
Great Divide.
Great Divide. It reminds me of another song, and I'm trying to place it right now. And feel free to throw in the comments if you hear it when you hear it at the end of this.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I do that with them all the time. Like,
Yeah.
Well, he told
But
me
there's nothing unique. I have a song that I wrote where it sounds, the beginning of it sounds a lot like Rope by Foo Fighters. And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't hear it. And then I really
Yeah.
listened to it next week and like, all right, maybe it influenced me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was like 6 months after Rope had come out.
Yeah.
But, all right, cool. Last question. You made it.
Rick had something.
Sorry.
as we work together more, you're going to hear more. There's great players, and usually it's like watching somebody type. It's boring,
Mm-hmm.
and you got the hooks, and you got the groove, and you got the songwriting, and then you get the musicianship on top. So, like before, you said you liked the Roth era better than the Hager.
Yeah.
But the Hager era, they became better songwriters.
Yeah.
And the musicianship remained.
Yeah.
That's the thing
So,
about music is that you
I love it all. I love,
You
I love
have
the
to-
Strone era, but
you have to be objective or you're just going to sound like a douche. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Sure.
And I agree with
so
that.
you're going to hear more of that. He wants us to open up as a songwriter. He wants us to kind of play more, but we're smart enough to know what's right for the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have for instance, I have a million ideas, but I have to pick and choose because, like I said, my influences are mainly metal.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have to
I'd love to hear you guys do a March themed song.
March
A
theme.
little bit of Iron
A
Maiden thrown in
marching
there.
band metal song, yeah.
But to that point,
With a hook.
But yeah,
Casey's running around the stage. Come on!
but to that point, I will say that's been one of the most refreshing parts about this is that, you know, because I was kind of all doing everything on my own, giving up control has been scary, but with this group of guys has been so much easier because as I've gotten to know them, I trust their musical sensibilities and their tastes, and knowing that they're not going to just throw out garbage, but they're going to be super selective and saying, this is what fits a song. And so then it's allowed me to go, oh yeah, I don't need to be a control freak
And the
now.
studio-
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
this
The
is
studio pre-production time has been like great.
yeah.
We don't
absolutely.
fight. We don't dig at each other. We
Yeah.
don't.
Can you scoot over?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
saying, can you get a shot?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to be all low key
We've all
about it.
kind of got together, worked alone, gone through the stuff in the DAW and worked it out, pitched it around, came back around with ideas.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anytime you can collaborate as a group is important. And like you said, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've gone from solo artist to cover band to solo artist because I got tired of that crap.
Yeah.
To original band to solo artist because the band broke up 3 days after we played the House of Blues. What the hell? Anyway, to now I sing in a jazz band, which one day we're going to get gigs. Bing! To doing this. It's scary, but the most freeing thing as a songwriter is if you can say, here's what I got. You do whatever you're going to do.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if you can listen to each other also and say, hey,
Yeah.
I got an idea. What about this? Why don't you try this? And you don't take it personally, like it's like an attack or something.
Yeah.
That's when really good music happens.
Yeah, I mean, we've spent like how many weeks working on a solo.
So yeah. But what's cool about that is like I'm a firm believer that there's power in agreement. So for example, if he's got an idea, then I'm like, it's okay. And if I make a suggestion that he doesn't like if we work hard enough, we find a third option that's better than both the others, you know. And it's that idea of that collaboration and being able to kind of trust. Like there are times that I'll listen to a song and I'll be like, okay, that's not what I would have done there, but I have to trust the direction that the band is going now because this is no longer just me. It's kind of like you kind of have to allow the band to become what it's going to become. Otherwise, why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? So
new musicians, this is important. It like any relationship, a band you've got to work at. You really do have to work together. You have to find that common ground. You're going to have to compromise a little bit sometimes. And the times where it all just seems to gel and work great, that's when you remember, oh yeah, this is why we're a band.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally. If you're all working towards the same goal, that's the point. They're all rowing the rowboat in the same direction. Then yes, you're going to get there. But if you are constantly saying, no, I'm right, things are going to get bad.
And to that point, I think also just having the patience to allow it to get there. Because I think sometimes people are like,
absolutely,
they want it, but it takes time. It really does.
We got a tune we're in on together about a year now.
Yeah.
I just sent him like the 50-second track take, but we've added parts, stripped parts, about things you don't learn in school, about the feel, how the setup is, you know. Yeah, that's spot on. Patience for it.
See, having heard your stuff, I can definitely tell it's crafted as opposed to just, hey, here's what I did, hey, here's what I did, hey, they're in the same key, you know, kind of thing. And we made a song, which is a little bit more the punk rock approach sometimes, but there's definitely crafting there, which I really appreciate for me. But moving on, last question. Let's pretend we're talking to new musicians. Can you give me one thing you wish someone had told you when you were starting out? Anybody?
Something that I wish someone.
Yeah, someone comes up to you and says, "Wow, I wish I want to be like you, or I want to do what you do," and you have that pearl of wisdom to give them that you've learned over the years.
It's different these days because the influential people are more accessible. You know, with social media and such.
That is actually very, very true.
But back when we were coming up, or when I was coming up, or if we were coming up 3 years in, you looked at these people and you thought fame equated to wealth.
Yeah, it don't.
No.
It don't.
Again, back east, being here, you live probably worse than us.
Yeah.
Because that payday comes based on your work, and then usually you get sidetracked, like the VH1 stories that all end in that drama and tragedy.
Right.
So
even if you get a big payday, you've usually spent it before you get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and nobody talked about, you went into it thinking, you know, Elvis died broke. All these people, for the most part, are broke.
Right.
So
and even when you hear stories like, oh, so and so got signed to this $1 million, $2 million recording deal, it isn't like they got a check for $2 million.
Yep.
You know, there's people to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just the band. You go see a show, there's stagehands, there's the venue, they want their cut, you know, there's the merch. Merch so much.
Yeah. Sound guy.
Yep. And the venue wants their cut of the merch too.
Yeah.
Yep. There's sound people. There's lighting. And if it's a production, there's sometimes even a staging or choreography person.
And if you think about it, as some of these groups rolled along, one primary guy ends up owning it. And even though these guys might have been his high school friends that they started with the band with and hit lucky,
suddenly
he gets rid of that.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. So,
And there's also like food, travel, expensive that you have to.
Yes, and if you ever get the opportunity to put up a band who's on tour, you are a freaking hero.
Agreed.
Let them sleep on your couch on the floor, and they will. You've made fans while you're a fan of theirs.
Because once you've slept in a car, a couch is an upgrade.
Oh my God!
From
Yes.
experience.
Yeah.
bar of soap, washing in the ocean. Next gig.
Yeah. Getting to House of Blues real quick. I mean, they have showers in the green room.
Oh wow.
That's got to be luxury for a lot of these people who.
Yeah.
You only have one shower if you're lucky on a tour bus.
Yeah.
You know, and they've got like, we got 3 green rooms for our band. Right on. Anybody else? Best advice for
I think
little you?
one thing I would say is practice a lot, but don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Because like the point of live performances is to convey like what you're feeling at that moment. You know, you don't have to be perfect. If you want to hear like a perfect song, you can just put it on your phone, Spotify, and just hear it note for note perfectly. But the point of live performances, I feel, is to just enjoy it. No matter if you make a mistake, there's a little chance that anyone other than yourself will catch
so
it.
true. That's so true.
I've got a funny story about that, if you don't mind me jumping in.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I used to play with, best name for a band ever, Revolving Door. I used to play with Revolving Door. I would have a inside joke with the drummer he was number 2 out of 7, and we ended up back at him. That's the kind of band this was.
Wow.
Yeah, we started 7-piece and went to 4-piece. And I anytime there was some sort of hiccup in anybody's performance, I would turn around and I'd go like, hiccup! And I would just keep going. And that let us know, like, yeah, it's fine. Just let it go. It's fine, dude. Because live shows, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So my rule of thumb is always practice hard for the show, sure. But really practice hard for recording.
Yeah.
Recording, you want to sound your best. You're putting out your best thing, even if you're never going to play that song live because it's got 7 guitar tracks or whatever, and there's only 2 guitars. That's where you really want to woodshed and lock yourself in the attic and just ignore people.
Yeah.
But when it comes to live shows, work more on your stage presence, work more on the interplay and the and choreography.
Yeah.
I appreciate a band when they're given an opportunity like House of Blues, where maybe the guitarists and bassists change places and they do things because they went to the trouble and they've got wireless rigs or whatever. Anyway, so play.
Well, like going back to the whole studio thing. I mean, we played a version of the song Make Believe, which we're gonna play after this, and it was vastly different than what we play live. So
Yeah.
I think, there was a point where we would be like, which version are we going to play, studio or live one? And so we would just say.
Well, that goes back to what we were saying where like you learn, you did a fill that wasn't there before, and now this is the version we're going to do when we're playing live. Versus
You organically, as you go through the motions, grow together. And that's like we're rehearsing that way now because we had one setup which was all in cans where we were in the circle. But now we're trying to break that. You're looking at our behinds and we're doing our thing out front. And it becomes a sense of organized mayhem.
That is the thing I always appreciate. The drummer has to look at everybody's butt. He's always the worst photos are always of the drummer. So yeah, if you can find a photographer for the band that gets you,
here's my
good shots
office
of you.
tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody else talking to little you?
I just want to this one to me would be really important for me, for the young me. So I think it's really important to have a balance between this idea of setting goals and visions and dreams for what you want to do, but also like being content in the moment, because that's been really hard for me. Like whenever as a musician and you face all the disappointments and all the failures and all the times whenever you're trying to go for a gig or there's just tons of disappointment, but at the same time there's an element of you that says, I'm doing this because I want to accomplish something and these are my goals. But at the same time, if I never accomplish those, I'm also doing this because I love it and I can't envision myself doing anything else. And so I think it's important for you to find that balance within yourself to say, I'm not going to just say, I'm never going to make it big, so I'm just going to be content. I don't think that's good either. But at the same time, you can't live and die with every success or failure. You know what I'm saying? Like there's got to, because I know when I was a teenager, I would lock myself in my room and I would just vibe off of listening to my CDs and my albums. And now over the last few years, there's been this element of music has kind of become a job for me. And so I find myself not enjoying music as much in my leisure time.
I get that.
And I want to go back to that. So I feel like there's that balance you got to find. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I mentioned how I was at House of Blues.
Yeah.
Ran into you, Whack and Metal Battle. I'm there working. I'm filming. I'm writing notes. But as soon as the second I can, okay, this band, I've got everything I need. I filmed everything I think I'm going to use. And then I sit back and I just enjoy.
Yeah.
And it really comes in those bite-sized chunks where I can't just show up and be like, I'm going to just sit and enjoy a gig because I know there's work to be, there's content to be created.
Yes. Yeah.
And that part of that comes from that creative drive. And same with when I was performing regularly, I would go to see a band and I would be like, I'd do that different.
Yeah. Can we pause for real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
Heart out.
It drinks o'clock.
Can you guys take off to make sure you guys get into RSG?
Yeah.
For our rehearsal, we got to get like before they close the doors for us to get into.
No problem.
But let them go and we'll wrap up. Can the two of us?
All right, cool.
Is that cool?
We're going to say goodbye to these two. Do you have 5 seconds to say anything for future you, young you?
I would say just be your best self.
Yeah.
Don't worry about being as good as everyone else is.
Right on. Practice hard.
Who's better than you?
Play fun.
Be as good as you can be.
Right on. All right, well then, we're going to say goodbye to you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Take your nameless space and get out of here. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
In the meantime, suddenly it becomes a lot more comfortable in here. You want to sit over here? Yeah, right on. Cool. My in-laws are going to get themselves a drink. We've already taken a booze break, so what? Oh, yes. You should watch this episode, mother-in-law. We have a whole thing about Elvis with him. But honestly, that's about it. We're about done. Oh wait, actually, do you guys have 5 seconds for a thumbnail? Rick, Nate, seriously, stick around. They're going to be up front of the guitar wall. Really appreciate you coming by. So thanks for coming to room 6. Hang out. We'll be right back in room 6. Real quick for a thumbnail, guys? Yeah. Cool. Get in here real quick. Say bye. Bye for now. Bye.
Is it brave defiance that you display? Just the poor reflection that denial makes. Sky you right in the web of this fantasy, and a simple reprieve that would bury us alive. Destiny
I want to thank Second Outfit for coming by. It was a great interview and a great performance. If you want to know more about what's going on with them, definitely check the links in the description. If you want to see more videos like this, please click here. If you want to subscribe to this channel, please click here, and don't forget to click that bell. And in the meantime, remember to be amazing, and we'll see you next time on Room 6. Say bye, guys.
Bye. See ya.
Peace.